Just let me know.
Okay.
Okay, we're on.
Alright, so my first piece, in order to see how it tessellates, I would like to explain how my figure is formed. And it started off as a square, and then a half circle was cut from right here, and then from that place it was then reflected vertically, and then horizontally, and then translated down. So it forms this right here. The next thing I did to my shape was cut a little piece off from right here, and then translated it up to form this shape. So I have a translation and then a few flips and another translation to form my alligator. And my tessellation forms by just translating up and translating up and translating up and translating up. In order to make the next row of alligators, like on my poster, I have to incorporate the flips that I did with the half circles. From here, I can reflect it horizontally, or vertically, I'm sorry, and then horizontally and translate it in. Same thing can be done here and there. And it also works with just translating because that piece is right there.
And you have a beautiful poster, finished poster, and you named your poster.
Yes.
What is the name of your poster?
Ollie the alligator.
All right. That was beautiful. Questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Why did you use different colors, such as you used the green on the purple?
Just to show what has been done to change it and what's been different with the shape.
Does that work for you, Claudia?
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
I thought that was a great teaching strategy.
I like that.
That looks beautiful on the camera, let me tell you. Thank you. Good job.
Okay, so my tessellation is, I titled it BFC, or also the butterfly cow, because that's what I saw when I saw my tessellation. So to begin making my tessellation, I started with the square, as you can see right here, and also I labeled the vertex so that we can use these as reference points at another time. So that's what it started with. And I went to my next step, and I thought to myself, I'd like to have a half circle, but in order for me to make a half circle, I needed to find the midpoints between B and C and A and D. And I found them, and they were F and E. I connected these. I guess I didn't have to connect them, but I connected them, and I found the rectangle, which was FC, my line segment of FC. I found the midpoint, which I called G. I took my compass, placed it, which this was not a very easy feat because it's a very small circle. So I drew my half circle, and that was the second part of my tessellation. I then figured I needed a little something more, and I had no rhyme or reason to this part, and I drew just a squiggle line. And this is how I got to my second part.
What kind of line?
A squiggle line.
A squiggle line.
A squiggle line. I didn't have any, there's no mathematical reason. I didn't find a denominator or a diameter or radius. I just took one point and ended it on the other side. I then cut it out. So then I cut these pieces out. So I have my half circle and my no rhyme or reason nibble on this part here. And you can still see that I have my square with my negative space, the blue that I have right here. And in order to figure out for the head, I actually took my half circle and rotated 180 degrees on point F. So then I taped that part.
Boy, if you stop for a minute, that looks like a buffalo right there. if you uncover that. That really looks like a buffalo or a hippopotamus or something right there. Okay.
And on this part, I actually had some difficulty because when I first slid it, I lined up points D and A together, and that's not it because I formed myself a little problem. And as you can see right here, this little piece needed to be shown. So what I had done on that was I cut out another piece, and I figured I was going to slide or translate it. So I translated the whole piece up, figuring I didn't really need to have circle on this one because that's not important at the time. Figure out where the piece is going to translate into, still forming my square, and I taped it into that spot right there. So this was my new piece. But of course this was a little more difficult for me to go into, and I made another one. So I have this piece.
Which you call again, what's the name of this?
This is my butterfly cow.
Okay.
Which at first I didn't see it as a butterfly cow. Everyone saw it as a camel. But I couldn't see a camel because I just don't see how you can draw a tongue into it. But that was just me.
Right.
I took a poster or a piece of paper, laid down my original tessellation piece, and did exactly the same I did for creating these. I laid over several pieces.
Somebody in the audience, what kind of shapes is she creating? How would you describe them geometrically? What are these shapes?
Concave.
Say it?
Concave.
Yes, they are concave, but what's special about these shapes, too?
Congruent.
They are congruent, audience, all right? Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I took my congruent pieces, and because I translated this, I can also translate it down, or I can translate it up, and it fits to where I need it to go. Now on this piece right here, because I rotated 180, I also needed to rotate my whole piece, and so I actually have point F is where I kept it, and if you just hold your piece at point F and rotate it 180, you get your second part.
It fits perfect.
It does fit perfect.
You actually found the point F of rotation for that entire piece. So that's one transformation.
Right.
Okay.
And then you can also go vertically out, and that is how I created my butterfly cow. And then I colored it because you can't just have blank pieces.
Any questions on that? That was a great job. Thank you very much.